Central Arsenal here with my review of the Smith & Wesson M&P 40. I'm doing my own review because I didn't see any on YouTube that I liked or that told me what I wanted to know. Crossman holster. This is a Crossman holster. In the front, they allow you to hold extra CO2 cartridges, but I put 2 extra clips in there, or two extra magazines. And 2 extra magazines do cost you about $20. Yeah, and the holster maybe about $10. The rear sight, you may have heard, is fiber optic. The C31 front and rear sight are also fiber optic, but the front sight on the C31 is red. I chose this weapon over the Beretta Elite 2 just because it has a slightly more realistic feature to it, which is the left side of the weapon. And it says right here, Smith & Wesson, Springfield, Massachusetts, USA. And on the front, M&P 40, the Smith & Wesson logo on the rear of the slide, and on the bottom of the handle. Yes, you know that the CO2 is housed in the handle of the weapon, and the magazine on this, it's the same, or it fits the Beretta Elite 2, the Crossman C11, and the C31. So they're all compatible. You can stuff about 20 BBs in here. I usually do 19 because with 20 the bottom part hangs out a little bit. And when you do insert this weapon, or insert the magazine into the weapon, it does go in further than the weapon. But if you're using your other hand and you're shooting, you can just throw it in and it'll pop in. You don't have to stick your finger up there. So when you're in the moment of firing, you don't have to waste time. This gun is very accurate. The BB drops at about 30 feet or so you will have to aim slightly higher than the target, especially if you're at a distance. Contrary to a lot of beliefs, an air pistol will stop somebody. Since these BBs travel at 480 feet per second, or about 325 miles an hour, it will stop an attacker. I mean, if it's a life-threatening situation and you fire at their head repeatedly, they will not want to continue what they're doing. And it does emphasize this fact with the right side of the weapon saying "not a toy." Misuse or careless use may result in fatal injury or death. So it does tell you that this is a non-lethal weapon. If you don't have a real weapon, it would be advised to use this for an attack. The trigger pull, it is slightly harder, as I said, than the C11. It clicks twice, as does every BB gun. Once to get the BB in the chamber, the second time to fire. Once, twice, you can hear that. Okay. You have to get used to this weapon because when you're first firing it, you may not be used to this trigger pull, so it may twitch your aiming just slightly. But if you're holding it with 2 hands firmly, you can get easy shots off. The slide on this weapon is fixed. You can't cock it. One thing I do like about the gun, you may have heard that's bad, is the handle. The handle is slightly larger in the back than in the front, so it's a good firm grip in your hand actually, and it's stable. It shoots stable. On the C11, it's kind of boxy, but on this weapon, it's firm and rounded. So you get off stable shots. The weaver rail in front can hold a flashlight or a laser. I do have a laser, so I just don't have it on me. You can disassemble this weapon, but I don't advise that because it is kind of hard to reassemble. And on the C11, I also tried to disassemble that, but there was a fixed screw, so it wouldn't let me get all the screws out, so I wasn't able to disassemble it. All the buttons on this are fixed except for the magazine release button and the safety. And white safety's on, red safety's off. If you're looking down the barrel of the gun, you can obviously tell it's fake because the inner barrel, and it comes out every time you shoot, as does the Beretta Elite 2 C11 and most of the BB guns. So you can only go so far as to intimidate somebody with this weapon. So yeah. One thing I do like about this, or another thing I like about this, is that you can lock the CO2 in the gun. On the C11, you can lock the canister in, but the handle won't allow you to. You can't close it completely. But in this, you can, to where the CO2 doesn't shake at all, especially when it's in the holster and you're carrying it on you concealed. Nobody can hear it shaking or anything. So that's a good little feature on this phone, on this gun. As I said, the accuracy is good. You can shoot maybe about 9 clips, maybe 10, but after that the CO2 is pretty much dead. I do suggest don't shoot anybody with this, because it will go through their skin, and they might have to get surgery to remove it, so I wouldn't suggest that. Like I said, these buttons are fixed, can't move those. The slide doesn't move. The sights, they are slightly adjustable. They go back like that, but they might shake or twitch every time you fire the weapon, so it's not good. And you can throw it in the weapon. I'm actually right-handed, but when I'm shooting with my right hand, I can throw it in my left hand, and I don't have to stick my finger up there. And when it's locked, you may see people twisting this bottom part a lot, but when it's locked in like this, you can twist it open, twist it once basically, and it's already locked in without leaking air, so you can get to firing pretty quickly. If you use BB gun oil to put on the top of the CO2 cartridge before you fire, you put it on the top of the CO2 cartridge to basically lock in the air. Put it up there at the very top, and supposedly it shoots longer, but I have yet to see that happen. But yeah, I chose this gun over the Brady Elite 2 just because it's more compact and it looks more realistic. So yeah, any questions, let me know. I'll probably be doing some other videos. So for right now, this is the Smith & Wesson M&P 40 with a Crossman holster.